Chris Leith asked me to make a song because she and Sandy had been, you know, going around and doing several powwows and certain things, and Sandy had been, you know, kind of instrumental in learning of some of the things in Sundance or Sweat Lodge or ceremonies of traveling with Chris Leith into Canada, different places, until she asked, what about a song? And then Chris called me and asked me if I could make a song. Well, it took me a while to make a song because I never knew anything about adoptees, you know, and I didn't know what kind of song they wanted, you know, and what for, but they just told me to make a song. So, after a couple, 3, 4 phone calls from Chris, I said, you know what, I think he's on a level, he really wants a song. So I made the song that you heard today. This melody in particular was a melody that I picked up from a bird. I was listening to a bird early in the morning. And I don't know, this tune kind of stuck in my head, you know, and then that's where that tune came from. And then once I got the tune together, I thought that was a pretty good tune. Except now I had to put some words on that, and here I said Wabilinija means orphans or adoptees, and be strong means Bilihichiayo. That's what it means. And then it says Lakholuichoch Anki, that means our Indian ways of the Lakota, you know, or other Indian people. Your Indian ways are strong. Listen to them. I didn't say follow them. I said listen to them. Because I think the following is done by that person that listens and learns. There's over 500 tribes. Probably less than that are federally recognized. Each one of those tribes today, we're losing our language, which is governmental. But also, the government seems to think that we have a loss of language, so now they're giving us a whole bunch of money to reteach our language. So give some of that culture and history back. But the true PhDs and our doctors of education are sitting on our reservations that are elders. They're the ones that carry the knowledge. They're the ones that have that. And I think a lot of people don't give them enough time where we can go sit and ask them certain questions about that. And for me, powwows are great, but they're mostly all English. They're beginning to change over to English. I speak my language. I make songs in my language. But we used to make songs in my language and sing these songs when other people knew the language and understood what those songs were, because we used our language, just like this song I just sang.
Yeah.
I had to explain it to the one who is listening, which is you. And someone who doesn't know, come and listen, and you're going to learn the song, if that song is the only thing you want to know. For me, I don't know. But for being the cultural way, I got to go someplace else. I got to get out of this asphalt jungle. I got to go out where I can breathe, the land breathes, where our ceremonies are strong, and my language is still the most important thing to speak about in our ceremonies, or in the healing ceremonies, all the different ceremonies, marriages, adoptions, whatever. My sisters and I are the little ones that I talk with and that speak the language back home. So that's how I keep connected. And all of my kids now, I have 6 kids, you know, but one died of drugs and alcohol here due to his own choice. That's his own thing. But I said, he's buried here because I didn't want to take him to South Dakota because he doesn't know anybody there. So I buried him with his family on his mom's side. And his mom passed away too. So there's a kind of a big thing here. So we always go to South Dakota. Somebody asked me, where are you going to be buried when you die? I said, South Dakota. Why not here? I said, I don't belong here. This is just, I've been on vacation over here for over 20 years, you know. So I'm just enjoying this vacation. And then while I'm enjoying this vacation, I'm working. So then I make my complete circle, and I will be buried where I began my life, which is over there in South Dakota. Takes one day at a time.
Yeah.
Gotta finish today. You know, tomorrow ain't here yet.
Exactly.
You know, so it's just one day at a time. Finish this day off. And about prayer too. Sometimes I tell people, Christianity says, get down on your knees and pray and say thank you. Get down on their knees and do this. I said, to the warrior system of American Indian people, being a Lakota, I stand on my own 2 feet and stand up to be recognized when I do anything. And that's the point of it, to say my higher power and the warrior system I grew up with means you stand on your own 2 feet. And that's where you're a warrior. I do marriage ceremonies with this pipe now.
Okay.
So now I picked up my old ways. And that's what my grandparents and my dad and all of them used to be. They were all healers. That does not make me a healer. Just like you and me, we're just ordinary human beings. If the Pope was sitting here, I wouldn't hold him any higher than his system. His system puts him up there. Maybe he thinks he's a higher power. I don't know, is he human or not? You have to think about that. That's why Bible colleges are psychological institutions to bring out others that preach the word. You know. But I always remember, religion is for people who don't want to go to hell. Spirituality is for people who've been there.